Prologue. The sands remember. The desert never forgets. Every grain of sand that shifts in the Egyptian wind once touched the breath of a king, a priest, or a god. Beneath its golden surface lie whispers of power, betrayal, and knowledge so vast that time itself conspired to bury it. But the sands were never meant to keep their secrets forever. In 2024, deep in the American Southwest, a team of archaeologists, drilling through a canyon wall, stumbled upon a black stone tablet. Its surface engraved not in English, Latin, or any known tongue, but in ancient Egyptian hieratic. The discovery made no sense. How could an artifact from the Old Kingdom be buried 12,000 kilometers away, under Arizona's red cliffs? Dr. Evelyn Ross, Harvard's youngest Egyptologist, stared at the artifact as the sunlight struck its strange surface. In that light, a faint symbol appeared, the Eye of Ra, split in two. She didn't know it yet, but she had awakened the story of Pharaoh Keperenakh, the Pharaoh of two worlds, whose rise from the Nile's blood and sand would shake the foundation of everything humanity thought it knew. Chapter 1. The Boy Who Spoke to the Sun. Ancient Egypt, c. 2430 BCE, the Sixth Dynasty. The Nile had risen high that year, and its waters gleamed like melted gold under the morning light. In the small village of Saqqara, where farmers bowed to the river as to a god, a thin boy knelt on the riverbank, tracing symbols into the wet clay with a reed. His name was Nakh, a peasant's son, silent, odd, and given to strange visions. The villagers said he was kissed by Aten, the sun god, because he could stare into the sun without flinching. Others whispered that he was cursed. But the boy heard something no one else could, a voice in the sunlight. "The kingdom is blind, Nakh," it said that morning, echoing softly like wind over water. "A shadow grows in the house of Horus. You will see it rise." He froze. The voice was neither man nor woman. It was ancient, filled with warmth and sorrow. He looked around, trembling, but saw only the glittering Nile. "Who speaks?" he whispered. "I am the light that never dies, and you, child of clay, will bear my mark."
The reflection of the sun in the water shimmered, and for a moment Nakh saw a face, golden, stern, with eyes shaped like falcons. Then it vanished. He ran home breathless, clutching his chest. His mother, a weaver named Iset, frowned. "You've been talking to the river again, haven't you?" "It spoke first," Nakh said simply. She sighed, brushing the dust from his hair. "Then tell the river to leave you in peace. Pharaoh Pepi rules Egypt. The gods need no peasant's ear." But Nakh could not forget that face, nor could he explain why that same evening a falcon perched above their doorway and did not fly away for 3 days. Years passed. Nakh grew into a young scribe. His quick mind noticed patterns others missed. He was recruited into the temple schools of Memphis, where the high priests of Ra trained those who served the divine order. He studied stars, numbers, and sacred geometry. And he noticed something. The priests spoke often of life after death, of preserving the body so that the Ka, soul, could travel westward to the field of reeds. Yet the texts they copied held diagrams that were different. Some described machines of light buried beneath the pyramids, devices that could open the gates of the Duat, the underworld. When he asked about them, his tutor, Priest Means, slapped him. "Some knowledge is forbidden. Forget it." But Nakh didn't forget. He began sneaking into the archives at night, the secret chamber beneath the temple of Ra, where scrolls wrapped in gold thread linen spoke of the book of Thoth. said to contain the power to speak with the gods as equals. And among those scrolls, he found something impossible. A prophecy that spoke of a pharaoh born not of royal blood, but of light and clay, who would unite two worlds, the seen and the unseen. The name in the prophecy was one word: Keperenakh. By the time Nakh turned 20, a rebellion brewed in the south. The old pharaoh was dying, and the priests feared chaos. It was then that Nakh was summoned by High Priest Menes himself, not for punishment, but for counsel. "You read the heavens," Menes said. "Tell me what you see in the stars of Ra." He bowed, then pointed to the night sky painted above the temple's inner dome. "The star of Osiris is rising too soon. It means a new order will begin." Menes studied him. "You speak like a king, boy." "I speak like the sun that guides kings," Nakh replied, before realizing his own boldness. The priest's eyes widened. "Then perhaps the sun has already chosen its vessel." That night, the temple guards came for him. He thought they'd kill him for blasphemy, but instead they brought him before the dying Pharaoh Pepi II, pale and trembling on his obsidian throne. The pharaoh's lips moved weakly. "You, who hears the voice of Ra, tell me, what lies beyond death?" Nakh hesitated. "Only the light that forgets nothing." The pharaoh smiled faintly. "Then you will see it. You will continue where I end." He died before dawn. By sunrise, the priest declared that the sun itself had anointed Nakh, a boy of no royal blood, as the next pharaoh. They called him Keperenakh, meaning the soul that rises again. And thus began the reign of Egypt's most mysterious ruler, one whose tomb would vanish for 4,000 years, only to resurface beneath American soil. End of Chapter 1. Would you like me to continue with Chapter 2, The Hidden Chamber of Ra, where Pharaoh Keperenakh begins construction of a secret pyramid, one designed not for death, but for travel beyond the stars? While in modern times, Dr. Evelyn Ross begins decoding the Arizona tablet that leads her to Egypt?